So there are a couple of stories out today. One in the Gazette talking about the situation here locally. The other big one is this national story that came out in the Globe and Mail today. National home sales hitting a 14-year low in January. Prices, by the way, falling as well. None of this, I guess, comes as a giant surprise. You know, it's funny. Sometimes you tend to think like we're in a vacuum here. Bank of Canada starts raising rates. You think nothing of it for the first one or the second one. 8 hikes later, you realize, yeah, it had the effect it wanted to have, which was to stop people and maybe, I guess, to some degree, control the housing market, which was getting completely out of control. And it worked.
Well, it seems to have worked too well, though, because I'm a passive observer, but driving around my neighborhood, which has just been completely bonkers for years now, things are not moving. It is completely stale. That's
what we're finding. Residential property sales in Montreal, metropolitan Montreal, are down 36% last month to 1,720 or 91 rather. That is the smallest number again since 2009. Trying to understand why this is happening. So let's see if we can. Our guest, Stephanie Lapierre, is principal economist at the Quebec Professional Association of Real Estate Brokers, and she is on the line. Stephanie, thank you for being here this afternoon. Merci.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Can you, I know we talk interest rates and the Bank of Canada hiking interest rates. Is there some other reason this is going on or why it's so drastic this time, dramatic compared to what it's been in the past?
You have done a good resume about what happened the last month, but the interest rates are the main component that we're seeing in effect right now. You have to go back a year ago. The Bank of Canada has said, we are going to rise interest rates. So people were like rushing to get in the market. So there was like that rushing phenomenon that kind of increased the activity. But with the 8 consecutive raise that we have seen in the last few months and one just a few weeks ago, it's normal to see the market adjust and slow down a bit.
So it's fair to say, and I know that's in the story, basically this market has completely changed, right? We went from completely over the top on one end to completely under, if you will, the bottom on the other.
Yes, and you also have to remember that the supply of property on the market is really low for many reasons, but one of them is the lack of new construction. So with the demand that is still high, people still want to buy a house, and the supply that is low, that created that effect on price rising for the last year, and we saw a lot of overbidding in the beginning of the last year, and with the interest that raised, the demand slowed down a bit to take into account those factors.
I mean, it's good that the overbidding has stopped. It's good that things are calming down a little bit, but it's gone too far in the other direction, has it not, Stephanie?
We're not saying that it's going too far right now. What we're seeing is that the overbidding premium is disappearing, so it's the adjustment between those. Last year, we still finished the year with, I'm not sure of the exact percentage, but it was like around plus 15% of increase in the rate for the total of the year. So if we look at the data right now, what we're seeing is an adjustment, a return to a more normal setting for the real estate market in Montreal.
So I would ask, because there's always categories, right? What category of property is doing the worst? Like, what's been the hardest hit? Do you know?
It's the little property with revenue, the plex that we call. It's eating a bit harder because you have a lot more of investor. So for that segment of property, the interest rate hike are more. The impact is more direct. So those people are like waiting to see what's going to happen. So that's what that's why we see a slowdown. More sharp in that segment.
So we're talking duplexes, triplexes, that kind of a thing. They're hit the hardest.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
And what about condos?
Condo, the slowdown is still there, but they're considered like a safe property. They're considered like the value is going to maintain on the long-term period. So that category with the single houses are more. They still have a slowdown, but it's less sharp.
Okay. And this time of the year, in the doldrums of winter in January and February, the market's often quite stagnant right around now. Do you expect things to start to bounce back just by nature of the weather getting better?
You have that, and also the last announcement from the Bank of Canada, they say that it's probably going to be the last raise in the interest rate.
Right.
So with the better temperature in the year that's going through, the situation is probably going to be better on the data. We're going to see a better activity. Yeah.
Okay, and now I asked with respect to what kind of housing. What about areas of the city? Are some doing better than others, on island, off island?
What we see is like the difference is more on the island of Montreal and Laval. The price has rise a little faster. We say that they're more advanced in their cycle. So the situation seems to be looking more like the normal situation that we want to see in those markets. But when you look at the outside of the island and like the North Shore, the South Shore, those areas, the adjustment is still going on because they're a little later in the cycle. So what we see on the island of Montreal last year, we're going to see it on the South Shore and North Shore like this year. It's going, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
It does.
I just think, I can't remember. I mean, I remember when we were talking about the fact at the beginning of the pandemic, right? People want to get the hell out of the city, remember? And we're buying property in the country out of the city. Is that property from the numbers we have still a good buy, or are they out of sight too?
Oh, it's depending. We'll still have to see what people are going to do regarding with the hybrid work and what is the situation. But the big migration that we see from the outside of the city seems to be cooling down. So, but we still have to evaluate the full effect on that.
Okay. Don't think we could have thought about this, a year ago, that we'd be actually saying this because we thought prices would keep going up, because that's what we tend to do, right? Over and over and over.
Yeah, well, it was out of control there, and there didn't seem to be any sign in sight of things calming down. So the fact that it's come to a grinding halt, I mean, it literally came to, in my neighborhood in NDG, signs would go up and be gone before you could even notice that the house was for sale. Now they've been up for months, not moving.
And
the
supply,
big difference, if I can say, is the inflation. Nobody expects the inflation to last that long and to be that high. So, and nobody expects the interest rate to go that high. So that's what we see.
There you go. Stephanie Lapierre, Principal Economist at the Quebec Professional Association of Real Estate Brokers. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get you to news. We have that coming up. And then on the other side of that, apparently the city of Montreal, I'm not sure if I heard this story and forgot about it, but the